and the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it's Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that excited me, that hopefully excites you, and another mixed bag week of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like we do most weeks here on the channel. But we're going to dive into all the toy news, but first, a little housekeeping, and for some of you that know and some of you that do not know, I did just announce that there is going to be a second YouTube channel, Kyle Peterson 2.0. Hit up old @ Kyle Peterson, spell it out, 2.0. You type that into YouTube, it will take you to that page. That is going to be my second YouTube channel. Yes, it's true, a second YouTube channel. I did do a video kind of launching and explaining all the reasons why, but I guess I'll give you some cliff notes right here. A lot of content on this channel. Can I put more content out? Probably not. Figured it'd be a good idea for an overflow channel over there. For some other unboxings that'll go up there, weekly top 5 lists that are not wrestling related. So we're going to get our G.I. Joe, He-Man, Ninja Turtles, heavy metal, music in general. A lot of different top 5 lists over there on that channel. Going to start to finally dive into the Super 7 Ultimate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. Going to unbox one of those every single week over there. We're going to have a second action figure hunt. I have so much stuff and I'm so far ahead on some of the action figure hunting stuff. I said, why not put a second toy hunt video out once a week? That will be on that channel. Of course, the current channel, everything's going to stay the same old song and dance, as they say. But this new channel, have some overflow, have some new stuff. Let us dive into some things a little bit more, including upcoming live streams. I'm going to try to do a weekly live stream over there on that channel as well. Some YouTube shorts, a lot of different stuff over on that channel. So check it out. Please subscribe. That's what everybody always says. Subscribe to both channels there. There'll be a lot of the stuff you like over here, over on there as well. I'd hate to see some of you guys and gals miss out on all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Kyle Peterson 2.0 is officially live here today. So make sure you head over there. Make sure you subscribe to that channel and stay tuned for some exciting stuff. And this is going to be the 2023 is a year of announcements for this channel. Got a lot of other cool stuff planned to finish off this year. Stay tuned. Some exciting things to come. There's a lot of cool stuff to talk about here. So we'll be talking about those in the weeks and months to come. So definitely subscribe to this channel. Definitely subscribe to that channel. We'll also do some giveaways with that channel as well, and this channel, And speaking of giveaways, Patreon giveaway for the month of September, all September. Fall is here, so is Owen Hart. Owen Hart AEW Unmatched Chase Edition. That is the giveaway on the Patreon this month. Head on over to the old Patreon channel, check it out, support the channel, all that kind of fun stuff, and this will be the giveaway this month. So very, very fun to give away an Owen Hart that I found out at the store. So there you go. So that is the Patreon giveaway. Now, let's dive into it. Let's dive into the toy news of the week this week. And let's start with wrestling like we usually do here. And we're going to start with a little AEW action. Danhausen and the Blood and Guts Wheeler Yuta. We unboxed those on the channel. Those did come through this week. Those are ringside exclusives. So use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at ringside, as I always do say. But those came through finally. A little bit of a delay, it seemed, as those were supposed to be late August. But here we are. Early September, not a terrible delay, but two fabulous figures. Obviously, the Danhausen is my favorite between the two. Absolutely love getting that Danhausen one, but we're not done with some announcements from AEW this week, as Ringside did put up some pretty promotional pictures of a few different things, and that usually means these are right around the corner. They should be in stock anytime now, and then shipping out to everybody as usual. But we did see Unrivaled Series 13 in package shots. Of course, that's Danhausen once again. It's going to be Danhausen overload. We talked about it in that unboxing. There's a lot of Danhausen to come for us. We did see the Butcher and the Blade. Very excited for a first time in the line, tag team in the line there. Wardlow, of course, getting him back out there with a little bit of longer hair this time, though, so a little bit of a difference there. And then Sting and Darby Allin. I'll never turn down a Sting figure. It looks like we get a soft goods trench coat on this one. That's a nice change of pace there. And we just recently, this week on the channel, did a top 10 Sting Countdown Crow edition for the 33,000 subscriber video on the channel this week. So if you missed that crow sting, check that out. Very timely with this sting coming out very soon. That might have upset the apple cart if that was already out, but a year or 2 years from now, maybe we'll do that sting one all over again. We'll see what happens there. And then Darby Allin, everybody knows about Darby Allin. Everybody's got a Darby Allin figure by now, so he's going to be on Unrivaled Series 13 as well. We also saw the bunny, and that's where a little controversy comes in. Dare I even say a little bit of a conspiracy?
You ever wonder if they're watching your every move? Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it.
I don't know about a conspiracy, but there's a lot of people angry about this ordeal. I actually had a video that was sent in to me by some viewers that said their thoughts on the bunny.
Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy.
Well, thank you for the members of Bayside High for sending that in to us here today, but I don't know what to make of this bunny. She's in Series 13, but is she in Series 13? We really don't know. There isn't a regular edition. She's just a straight-up chase. So are we going to be one of those things where, let's say it's Darby Allin, every 10th case doesn't have Darby Allin in it, it has the bunny instead? Is that what's going to happen there? Now we remember back, of course, to AEW Unrivaled Series 1, throwing it way back with Brandy Rhodes. She was not at retail. I don't think she was in every case. They shorted her that way. So maybe they're doing something like that. Now, there is word, and there was word at San Diego Comic-Con, places like the Vault. Of course, the Vault, that is coming, I think, spring? I don't know, maybe sooner than that. It's kind of been quiet on that front. You just go to the Jazzwares site and you look for the Vault and you can sign up for it to be announced when things do come. But they did say she would be sold on the Vault. Now, the bunny, first time in the line, I'm here for it. You need her for the Butcher and the Blade. I get it. It's one of those things, too. It's a Chase Rare Edition. You hate to unbox it because it's a Chase Rare Edition. But let's take that step back. Let's take a little of that business step back here today. What if the bunny, let's just play devil's advocate a little bit here. What if the bunny was only produced in 5,000 no matter what? Now, AEW figures, we do see our peg warmers out there, but it's not like Mattel that these are around all the time. Amazon, all the different toy stores, your local toy store, stuff like that. AEW figures are not produced in the same quantity as Mattel Elites. I think that is a very fair assessment everybody would agree with. What if there's only 5,000 bunnies to begin with? What if there was only 5,000 Anna Jays and 5,000 Nyla Roses to begin with? What if there was only 5,000 Rios to begin with? And I think I touched them all. I'm here for it. Rio, shout out. What if this is a little business tactic here? And once again, putting on the old tinfoil hat a little bit here, but I think there could be some truth in this a little bit. What if there's only 5,000 bunnies made? All of a sudden, you put that sticker on there, it makes her a lot more wanted by the fan base and collectors. You take the sticker off, it's still 5,000, it just doesn't have a sticker. Does she have the same appeal? It's an interesting tactic. It's interesting, something to think about, because at the end of the day, let's be realistic. The bunny is not going to sell the same amounts as Sting. It's just not going to happen out there. So what if going forward, some of these Chase Rare Editions that are 1 of 5,000, 1 of 3,000, what it may have you, what if they are only in those quantities to begin with, and they just put that to help move through? Because let's be honest, if you know Anna Jay had a 1 of 5,000 sticker on every single Anna Jay figure, guess what? She's not hanging on the pegs. Nyla Rose, she's not hanging on the pegs. Yes, there was a Chase Rare Edition, but if there was only one edition, if there wasn't a Chase, there wasn't a Rare, there was only one and it had 5,000 on it, she's not hanging on the pegs. That's the way it's going to go. So this could be a brilliant business strategy here to help sell some of these female ones that are unfortunately peg warming, and really just being honest, or somewhat honest, of how many are being produced. So definitely something to think about. I think it is definitely a possibility there. To me, it's a hard one because I do want this bunny. I feel like I need her loose, and I hate unboxing something like that, but it might have to be done for science, so stay tuned on the channel there. But definitely thought that was an interesting turn of events with Series 13. We'll see how it plays out in the weeks and the months, and maybe the years to come. We'll see what happens there. Another thing, last bit on AEW, is Sammy Guevara, ringside collectible exclusive. We saw some more pretty pictures of that one. Got to be coming very, very soon. Would imagine that will be coming with an Unrivaled Series 13. So stay tuned to that if you're a big Sammy fan. To me, I think that's the third one. I think I'd go Danhausen, Wheeler Yuta, and then Sammy. We'll see, though. Gotta get at the table. We'll unbox it and talk about it when that time does come. So more to come on that one as well. A little quiet week on the retro front. Still waiting on Zombie Sailor. He's on the clock. He's been on the clock since July. But apparently in the next 2 to 3 weeks or so, we should have Series 2. So stay tuned for that. And he keeps saying, and I keep saying, I'm a broken record because I just keep repeating all this, that, oh, in the future, everything's going to come a lot sooner. I hope that is the case, because fool me once, I don't know what happens then. But moving on to the only retro news this week is old Hassel Toys and Grapplers and Gizmos, or Grappler and Gimmicks out there. He did talk about Men on a Mission. Looks like New York Comic-Con, which is right around the corner here in October. These are going to be 2 exclusive repaints of Men on a Mission. So if you're into the Men on a Mission, you're a hardcore Men on a Mission guy. If you're truly on a mission to get these men, you got to go to New York Comic-Con. I'm sure he'll have some leftovers sold online, but I think it's only 150 of these being made. Being an interesting one. I don't know how many hardcore fans of Men on a Mission are out there, but definitely his first batch, which should be shipping hopefully fairly soon. We'll see what happens with that. I did order those. We'll unbox those on the channel as well. But Men on a Mission coming to New York Comic-Con, so look for them if you're headed out there at his booth there. So there you go. The more you know, folks, the more you know. Now some quasi-wrestling here. Entertainment Earth, good friend of the channel. Of course, I always say use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. We do got Marvel Lucha figures. Now, apparently these were released in Mexico maybe last year or so, but it is Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, Thanos, and Captain America in their kind of lucha gear. And I believe wasn't it AAA, I believe, had like Brian Cage. Wasn't he like the Hulk or something like that? I don't know. But they had wrestlers dressed up as Marvel superheroes, and now they're getting some figures based on these. Obviously, for little kids out there, this is going to be the United States release, or I should say North America release for these. So if you're into these things, head on over to Entertainment Earth. They are up for pre-order right now. A little Marvel wrestling crossover, not a bad thing, but not for me. If they were Marvel Legends or WWE Elite size scaling, I might dive into these, but being a bigger size, probably not going to be for me right here. But definitely something cool, definitely something different there. Now we're going to turn our attention to PulseCon. Yeah, speaking of Marvel Legends, we do know September 26th, Hasbro PulseCon. It's a week from last Friday, a week from yesterday if you're watching this real time here. So we'll look for some more announcements, pre-orders, news, and of course we do got some sale items going to that. We did know about Detroit Steel coming in hot. We saw him debuted at the Hasbro Breakfast at San Diego Comic-Con. So the Hydra Stomper repaint Detroit Steel, going to be a Hasbro Pulse item here. Definitely going to entertain this one. I'll probably end up picking it up. You know me. I love a big robot like this, so I'm all in on the Detroit Steel. The other one we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, of course, was the Cobra Strike Team, the Crimson Guard Strike Team. Of course, we got all these Crimson Guard figures. It's time to get some leadership there. So you got Zaymont and Tomax, the Crimson Twins, and then you do get Baroness with some of the new bells and whistles on Baroness. So definitely a cool one, deluxe packaging style. We knew that was coming. We're definitely here for that. I'm definitely here for any G.I. Joe. We got more G.I. Joe news to talk about here next, and we did see this week coming out a surprise, but that's not it for the G.I. Joe. As Jerry Reed always says, we've got a long way to go and a short time. To Jerry Reed's point, we always know what Rob Halford says.
Message from Rob Halford of Judas Priest.
Step on the red, cross on the green, never take a ride in a stranger's machine, and always make sure you're burning on turbo power.
That exactly leads us into Target Fall Geek Out event here. A little bit of a surprise, kind of out of the blue. We knew something was coming to the Fall Geek Out from Target. We just didn't expect this, or at least I didn't expect this, and Hasbro officially announced it at 8:03, 8:05, something like that, Central Time in the morning, and they'd already been on sale for 5 minutes on Hasbro Pulse. So really one of those kind of crazy things just out of the blue on a Friday morning. But we did get some pre-orders, and of course the pre-order went to Target and Hasbro Pulse as usual. But we do get the Python Patrol Copperhead, of course, one of the OG Python Patrol members. And to me, he was always second in command in the Python Patrol. Maybe you were different, but that's how I viewed it when I was a kid. A Python Patrol Cobra officer as well. And then, of course, a Trouble Bubble. Can you believe that? So Hasbro Pulse Trouble Bubble. We unboxed it last week on the channel. Check that out. We are getting the repaint just like that via Target with the Python Patrol. To me, I immediately said, well, I guess I'm not going to buy 3 of those Trouble Bubbles. I'm good with 2 of those. I'll get that one, and I'll be good. I'll have 3 that way. I'll display one of the extra heads with the Python Patrol one, so I have all 3 varieties kind of shown. Definitely an interesting idea. I really do think they should have maybe waited some time in between, but it is what it is. And then the one thing that really makes me scratch my head, it's either this or it's lice. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm shocked that it's $10 cheaper for the Python Patrol one at Target stores. Now that is very interesting when we put our business hat on, that the retail market one to Target is $10 cheaper. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, well, that's just Hasbro getting out after you here because it was $10 more on Hasbro Pulse. Now, Hasbro Pulse should be a little bit cheaper because guess what? They're cutting out the middleman. They're cutting out Amazon, Walmart, Target. Hasbro Pulse technically should be the cheapest place to get these kind of things because they're not having to give Target a piece of the puzzle. They're not having to give Amazon and whoever a piece of that dollar at the end of the day. So now, very interesting, this is $10 cheaper. Now, do we possibly think it's Hasbro just giving Target a heck of a deal? Or are they working together and say, I'm going to eat $5, you eat $5? Or, and Target's been known to do this, Walmart's been known to do this as well. I'm dealing with this currently in my business life, that Target, they're just saying, you know what, we're going to be the low-cost leader here. We're just going to chop this down. We're going to eat that $10, Hasbro. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be a little less, if our margin was 12%, we're going to take a 7% margin on this one. That's what we're going to do. That happens a lot right now. Trying to beat Targets, Walmarts, trying to show value to the consumers, especially the holiday season, trying to get people through the door. You're going to see this a lot more as Targets, Walmarts, Amazons, whoever drop their margins a little bit. So I don't know who is paying for that $10 or what the story is there, but that's definitely something very interesting that I did notice on this trouble bubble here. So very interesting to get it. The Python Patrol team grows. It is a perfect store exclusive because if you don't want it, you can pass. It is not core characters. It's a simple repaint. It's not for everybody. I would much rather have this as store exclusives than, okay, we're going to give you Blowtorch and first in the line characters. People would lose their mind if that was the case. So you can gripe about this, but it really, I do think, is the best business plan option for the G.I. Joe Classified series. You guys correct me if I'm wrong or tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, as I always say. Then coming out of left field a little bit, the final bit of G.I. Joe news this week is we did see Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below, as I always say. They have the Sky Striker up for sale. So I guess Big Bad Toy Store apparently went in and bought a bunch of Sky Strikers, which guess what? They can do that if they want to. No different than Ringside Collectibles buying any of the new gen ring up and stuff like that. That's just their prerogative. It's their store. They can do whatever they want. So if you're looking for that Sky Striker, you missed out. You might be able to get it on Big Bad Toy Store cheaper than, of course, eBay, Mercari prices, things like that. So look at that if you're into the Sky Striker for your 3 3/4 G.I. Joe figures. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Super 7. Oh, Super 7, good friends of the channel as well. Use code Kyle P. Yes, you heard it right, Kyle P. Check it out at Super 7. Doesn't get you anything. It just says, hey, I support Kyle P's YouTube channel. So we'll see. Hopefully one of these days they add something to that a little bit, but we'll see what happens there. But Super 7 coming in pretty hot here this week with some interesting stuff. A little bit of a diversified mix this week from Super 7. I was very interested in, of course, the Cat Slayer. As we are filming this now, we have 2 days. If you're watching this on Saturday, there's 1 day left. Man, the Cat Slayer, if you want it now or never, or pay up on the aftermarket a year, year and a half, 2 years, what is time from now. And we're very close. We're about 500 shoppers away, I guess, units, whatever you want to call it, away from funding the Cat Slayer to tier number 1 to get that kind of workers tool pack thing. I don't know if it's going to hit it. Usually there's a late surge, but the late surge being on Sunday, I could see people forgetting about it. We'll see how that all ends up netting out at the end of the day. But if you want the Cat Slayer, it's now or never. I'm just happy this thing got funded. I'm happy I'm going to get one of these in my collection. And like I said many times on the channel here, seeing that thing in person is just totally different than seeing it on pictures. It's just a different level when you see it in your hands, I guess right in front of your face. Just wait till you order this thing, you get it, you're just going to be blown away. It's absolutely crazy if you haven't seen it in person. So Cat Slayer, last chance, there you go. But then this week we saw glow-in-the-dark in more ways than one, and we'll start with glow-in-the-dark Voltron. Yes, Voltron, a childhood favorite of mine. I had one Voltron toy as a little kid. It was about this tall, and the arms and everything came off, kind of a rubbery figure. Absolutely loved that thing. I'd mix it with some Transformers, some Joes from time to time. Just rarely. But I would love to have that thing back, and I've always felt, man, I wish I had a Voltron in my collection. I really should have got that first Super 7 Voltron figure. That's the one I need. They did later come out with a black and kind of gold color one. Now we're getting a glow-in-the-dark one. Talk about getting the most out of your molds here, and Super 7 loves themselves some glow-in-the-dark figures, as we do know. So if you're a Voltron guy or gal, you can pick up the glow-in-the-dark version. It is up for pre-order right now. But then, segueing into some more glow-in-the-dark, how about the latest and greatest Super 7 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Ultimate Editions. Now, going to be interesting to see how these go. We do know the last go around, not all the figures made it. They actually canceled some of the figures. I don't think we'll have this problem on this go around right here, as we do get for the first time ever. I've been wanting these since I was a little kid. I've been shocked we've never got them. Well, the time is now. Bulk and Skull coming to the Super 7 Ultimates line. I think that is really cool. That is very fun. I'm all in for a Bulk and Skull figure. Definitely mandatory pickups for my collection, so definitely pickups right there. And then we talk glow-in-the-dark. Well, glow-in-the-dark Green Ranger. Once again, getting the most out of your molds, putting a little glow-in-the-dark stuff. Bam, you got a new figure, helping this line along the way a little bit here, a little bit easier to make this one because we've seen this mold many times. Just a couple of changes, but definitely might be worth the pickup, especially if you're a glow-in-the-dark fan or a completionist of the Super 7 Ultimate line there. So we did get that. And then we got the gold and black Megazord. Once again, a repaint. We should have that other Megazord, the more OG styling one, here in the next couple of months. So look forward to that on the channel sooner rather than later as well. But definitely an interesting one for the Super 7 Rangers. And then, as I've said it before, if you're headed over to Super 7's website and you pre-order these from Super 7, directly from Super 7, and of course you put in code KYLEP, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? But I do like what they're doing here is if you buy from them, you get an extra head, some extra accessories you can only get if you buy from Super 7, because let's be honest, Super 7 gets more of the money if you buy from them than if you buy from Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, or somewhere else. They have to give a cut to those places. They don't have to give that cut if you buy it in-house. So I think it is a smart move on Super 7's side to put these little head packs and army builder packs, things like that, as free kind of throw-ins, because I think it does have some value to the hardcore fans, but it also helps them keep a lot more of the profits at the end of the day. So if you're into that, check out our Super 7 website right there on those Rangers. Now we're going to finish off with a couple of extra things here before we get into the album of the week. McFarlane Toys this week, a 2-pack Amazon exclusive that nobody asked for. I don't know about that, but is Cygor. You know me, I love a hairy bipedal creature. I love a big gorilla-like character. I love a good Cygor figure, but we got Cygor and She-Spawn 2-pack. And it's an interesting one as it is repaints. It does kind of fit in with the old 90s stuff as these two characters got repainted numerous times. And I don't know, if you missed out, I guess this is great. However, you can go to Entertainment Earth, go to the outlet deals section, and I think both of these you can get on a clearance price. So I don't know how many people are going to get this 2-pack. I'm not sure exactly what consumer this is for because the other ones are so readily available at places like Entertainment Earth. Even some stores I still see some of these at. So once again, it feels like a little too much too soon. Wait a year. This might be a good pack because it'll be new collectors, people that missed out, or people that just want something different that feels like enough time has passed. I don't know, but it is interesting. But if you're looking for that one, head on over to Amazon, pick up your She-Spawn and Cygor 2-pack. And then finally this week, we did see some interesting stuff from the Musk. I think that's what it's called, the Musk. Well, of course, that is the Ramen Toys Sewer Lair. It looks like we're looking at, if you're in the United States, $200 shipped per unit. So it is getting a little pricey there. We do know the NECA one's $300. We talked about it long form last week in the toy news. I passed on the Musk. Not necessarily. I haven't passed yet. It hasn't went up for pre-order yet, but I did buy the NECA one. And a lot of people said, it's crazy, it's $300. Yes, it is, but it is officially branded. It is official, matches your dioramas, matches your figures, it matches everything. So if you have a setup, it matches it together. So this one from Ramen Toys, as cool as it is, I am not against this at all. It doesn't necessarily match. So I bought one of the NECA ones. I'm going to keep my eyes on this one here because this would be great for G.I. Joe. This could be great for Marvel Legends, of course, Ninja Turtles. If you're like me, you're collecting movie turtles, cartoon turtles, Mirage turtles, Archie turtles, Super 7 turtles, Playmates turtles. You're collecting all the turtles. Guess what? You might need a couple of different sewer dioramas, sewer layers. You can use this one for your Super 7 Ultimates. You can do something like that. So that's where my brain is right now, but it is going to get very expensive. If it's $200 a room, you're adding multiple rooms, you got the top, it looks like they're adding mailboxes, they're adding some steps and some stairs. They're adding a lot to this one that will make the price point, you would assume, go up. So there's a lot to be worked on here. There's no estimated ship date. There's no estimated pre-order date. The NECA one, guess what? Coming this year for Christmas. So I get the complaints about that. I got those same complaints, but I wanted to keep at least a section of my collection uniform. this Ramen Tools or Ramen Toys one, if I do want this, guess what? I can have this with something different, have this somewhere else. So that's where my head is. Definitely keep an eye on this. I will definitely keep an eye on this. We'll see where this sewer layer goes in the end. So stay tuned for that as we get more info as it comes in. And now we turn our attention to the album of the week this week. Album of the week was announced this week from Motorhead. Oh, Motorhead, you know me. Motorhead, Another Perfect Day. 40th anniversary. I can't believe it's 40 years. Definitely a one of those albums that really split the fan base, especially at the time, and it's absolutely wild. I like to go back and think if I was a Motorhead fan at the time, which was pretty much impossible at the time because that was a long time ago. It was 40 years ago. Would I have enjoyed this album? I just don't know because I love it now. This is one of my all-time favorite Motorhead albums. From the day I first started listening to Motorhead, this went right to the top. And gun to my head, you say, what's your favorite Motorhead album? I might even say Another Perfect Day if you catch me on the right day. I love this album. I love the little change of sound. Still Motorhead with a little bit of a change to it. I absolutely love this album. But at the time, people hated it. Hated it. And it's really one of those albums that's got better over time to a lot of people. And now here we are with the 40th anniversary edition. It is definitely one to check out if you've never heard it. I'm anxious for some of these demos on there. There's a song called Climber. I just listened to that. They have a video out for that. That is definitely a little spin on an old classic, so I like that. There's also going to be a live album around this time. I'm definitely here for that. You got the deluxe packaging, all the bells and whistles with these Motorhead reissues. Definitely here for this. Definitely a pickup for me. And maybe spin Another Perfect Day again this week. Still holds up to me an all-time Motorhead classic. So check that out if you're in the mood for some Motorhead. So there it is. There is the toy news of the week. The big news of the week, though, for me is, of course, that second YouTube channel. Head on over there. There's going to be a video probably every single day over there. There's not going to be 3 videos like here, but there's going to be 1 video a day over there, live streams, all the kind of stuff. Turtle unboxings, overflow unboxings, top 5s, toy hunts, you name it. It's going to be on that channel as well. So you can kind of go back and forth between the two. But I would appreciate it out there if you guys did take the time to subscribe over to that channel. And of course, subscribe to this channel as well. We got a lot going on in this channel, and it's not going to stop. It's only going to intensify if that can actually happen. And we got some more surprises to close out the year that I think a lot of you guys and gals will be enjoying. So if you could subscribe to both channels, hey, I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it. And so would my dog Ace that's just sitting right here, getting ready to go to the vet. We're going to get him some shots today. It's going to be a fun time for old Ace and the other dogs too. So there you go. But there it is. There is the toy news of the week. Anything that interested you, let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels on that one. And don't forget about Patreon for early access to all the videos, Patreon giveaways, things like that. And the best way to support the channel at the end of the day is via Patreon. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. Sir Paul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So, for another week of toy news, I am Kyle, and you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way to the vet.